Yeah.
So at what point did you get the itch to start your first business?
So again, sorry, I missed that.
At what point did you almost get the itch to start your first business and
Oh,
start freelancing?
funny enough, again, mistakes. I left Wardour, the publishing company, which was great, but I just wanted to move on for the next 11 years. And I went into a software company, and I thought it was going to be more digital work and more, creative work, and it just wasn't. And it actually depressed me for about 7 months. And then I just after that, I just thought, you know what, maybe I should just do my own thing and just let's see how freelancing goes. So after 7 months there, I went into freelance.
Did you jump, like as in just leave and then start from scratch, or did you start the transition to try and bring in some clients before you left?
I literally just handed my notice in, had a month's notice, and
Wow.
yeah, and had no clients. But what I did do is contact my old company, and I said, look, I'm freelancing now. I think I put I sent a couple of emails out to old companies and said I'm freelancing, and then contacted a recruitment agency, and that was it. And then I
Wow.
never, yeah. And to be honest with you, most of my work is word of mouth, and
Which is
that
the
was
best
10
way.
years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow. Because must
yeah.
have with how almost, because we're going to clip this up as a separate video for like YouTube. But
Mm-hmm.
how have you found the past 10 years? Was it all plain sailing? Was it tough times? Was it tough? Was it easy? How did you find
Um,
setting up?
Setting up, I wish, again, I think the stuff that's around now, around the freelance communities and social media, I wish that was around then because it was quite tough. It was, by yourself. I tried to organise a few drinks with certain people, but I think when you were by yourself and you were freelancing, I was actually going into people's companies. I wasn't working from home.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're always like the freelancer on the end, just the extra bod. But that's not like that now at all for me because I've worked it to how I want it to be. But it was it was hard, but I always had work. I was always busy
Hmm.
to the point where I think it was it was proper full-time jobs, and I still had to work around my children,
Yeah, of
and I still
course.
had to work around dropping them off. My mum helped out massively. She was like my nursery, and she'd take them to playgroups and stuff. So it was a full-time job pretty much. And I just always, one of the biggest things for me is like I always wanted to go above my
Hmm.
salary that I'd
Hmm.
worked
Hmm.
in a full-time job, which I did.
Yeah.
But it was hard, and I just never switched off. I would always, unless I left the country, left my computer at home, I never switch off. I'm always on. I was always on it, always on it.
Do you still
I
feel
still
like that?
am to a degree. Yeah, I mean, it's half term this week, so hopefully taking Wednesday afternoon and Thursday and Friday off. Um, but I don't have email on my work phone. That's one thing I
Mhm.
don't do. And if I'm going out, I'll leave my laptop completely at home.
No,
But I
I
try and switch.
I suffer a lot with working too much, and this sounds really stupid, but I actually took the weekend off, and I haven't done that for 2 years. I
Wow.
always tinker and play, and but it's tough. And but one thing that really kind of gets me, because obviously I advertise in this, and we'll get onto it later.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
when we offer free courses and people reach out, one thing that really kind of gets me, and social media is a cause of it because everyone wants to big themselves up, and it's almost like a poison chalice. But it's when you get people that are actually struggling,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they just want a bit of help or a bit of guidance, and they just want to
Mm-hmm.
pay their bills,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that balance of where just it's the honesty and the empathy to say when things go well or go badly, or what you find easy or what you
Yeah.
find hard.
Yeah.
And it's just, especially on Instagram and stuff, everyone's like, I do 10K a month and I do this and I do that, and it's like,
Oh,
really?
yeah, all that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's that kind of thing I wouldn't. I just think that's a bit. It's a bit show offy, isn't it?
Hmm. It's
It's
a
a
bit
bit
wanky is what it is.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, I just don't, I don't engage in that sort of conversation at all.
But I think there's always a balance between people that are genuinely looking to celebrate stuff in the right way, because they
Yeah.
should be proud of it. But you
Yeah.
also have people that like humble brag, and that there's a fine balance.
Mm.
If you're proud of
Mm-hmm.
something, just own it. Don't pretend that you know anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
point being that, especially if things at times are tougher and people are worried about paying their bills and stuff, the worry is that I've had a lot of it where everyone thinks themselves that I'm not doing very well, but everyone else
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, everyone else is feeling the pain, and and it's just, that's one of the reasons again why I love to do this. You have a lot of people that just listen whilst they're working
Yeah.
away,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they don't feel alone, if that makes
Yeah.
really sense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So
Sorry, God, you can ask. Don't go.
no, it's cool. So how did you get involved with Freelancer magazine?
Well, Sophie Cross, she's a friend, and we worked together. How long ago? About 4 years ago. We were working on a magazine for a hotel, and that came about because of, again, connections. It's just got to believe in karma. You just got to believe in karma. A lot of my work has come from this one guy. He's a printer, and he just has lots of clients, and he just like passes my name on to somebody else, and like, so he passed my name on to a company that Soph was working at, and so Sophie and I worked together for 4 years. We never met. It was all online or texting or phone calls. And we were like, yeah, I'll see you in Walthamstow because I live in Walthamstow. She's like, yeah, I'm coming to Walthamstow. Then something would happen. We wouldn't meet up. And then it was just like, oh, this like 4 years of knowing each other. We never met up. And then was it December 2021? 2020? Yeah, 2020, sorry. She said to me on New Year's Eve, she said, I've got an idea, but can I phone you tomorrow? This is on a text, she says. And I was like, yeah, sure. So New Year's Day, she phones and she says, I've got an idea for a magazine. And I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, it's about freelance. I'm like, there must be a magazine about freelancing out there somewhere. She's like, no. And I'm like, and she's like, should we do it? And I was like, yeah, do it. I'll be a designer. So ever since then, yeah, we've been doing that. And issue 7 comes out this week.
Well, I was going to say, have you seen it yet? Of course you have because you put it together. But have you seen the physical copy?
No, not yet.
Do you get excited when they turn up?
I do. Oh gosh, this is going to be a massive secret. Is anyone watching?
Probably not.
I get really nervous and I don't look at the magazine for about a month later.
It's when you spot typos and it's all of the. What software package do you use? Do you use InDesign?
I use InDesign.
It's when you've cropped the image slightly far and there's a tiny and stuff that you'll notice but nobody else will. Or you thought
Nobody
it was
else
will
know. Yeah.
And it's just, but I empathize with that. But it shows that you care about the details and stuff. And
yeah.